What's up, everyone? All right, well, here we are Tuesday morning, back in the saddle, back in my office. As you can see, I had a great week last week trading in Puerto Rico. Obviously came home before the storm because I knew the storm was coming, but that's fine. It was a good week and I would definitely go back. It was a lot of fun. The internet was great. I had no issues at all. Actually, you know what's funny is the internet at the TWA hotel at JFK in New York was worse than in Puerto Rico. All right, so it's in proximity, much closer to the exchange. I don't know how, it's one of those things where I was getting a little bit of lag, where I'd click the buy button and instead of having instant response that my shares are filled, it takes a second and then I'm getting filled at a slightly different price than what I'm seeing on the level 2. And that's the dead giveaway that you're a little lagged behind the market. And so however they have their network set up there, even though in proximity it is closer to the exchange, it wasn't actually as good. So that was kind of funny. But the good news is in Puerto Rico, the internet was no problem. So that was great. But today I'm finishing up $5,000, so $5,300, just over the daily goal, which is good. But it was choppy, and it was choppy out there yesterday. Even though I finished yesterday over $20,000 in profit, it was really ugly the way the market finished. So the things we were trading yesterday morning, recent IPOs, recent SPAC mergers, those sold off hard into the close. A couple of stocks have been strong today. We've had some momentum, but it's still been, for me, kind of just like stay really light on my toes. Do not overstay my welcome. And so you know what? I'm probably leaving money on the table every single day right now, but I'm hitting small base hits. I'm staying consistent, and consistency is number one. I'm focusing on consistency, and you know what's following? Profits, number one. Confidence, number two. I just finished my 47th consecutive green day. So this is a great time for me to remind you that my results are not typical and that trading is in fact risky. And there's no guarantee that you'll have results similar to mine or even that you'll find success, whether you trade with me or you learn on your own, because this is risky. So you should always practice in a simulator before you trade with real money and not blindly follow me or anyone else. So, I have to say that. But one of the things I've kind of been noticing over these last few weeks is that it feels like I've gotten into a real routine and a real rhythm of just looking for base hit. Quick base hit, quick base hit, quick base hit. And it took a while to kind of program myself out of trying to hit home runs. Last year and the year before, I was hitting home runs like every day. I was hitting these huge home runs, back-to-back, massive winners. This year, swinging for those home runs cost me some really big strikeouts. I had some big losers, and I gave back a lot of profit. And so the first 4 months of the year was really choppy. Making $100,000, giving it back. Making $100,000, giving it back. And now things have really smoothed out. Although I'm not making as much per day on average as I did last year, right now I'm feeling consistent. I'm totally prepared to have red days. And because I'm managing my risk on the first couple trades I take, I feel like, if I go red on those trades, I have a good chance at recovering before I stop for the day. That's kind of the interesting thing, because if you trade in the afternoon and you make a mistake, you don't have a lot of time to recoup that or recover from it, right, before the market closes. Whereas at 7 a.m. or 7:30 or 8 a.m. pre-market, if you lose $1,500 or $3,000 or even $6,000 or $10,000, you still have the entire day in front of you, and there's a great chance there'll be some opportunities. And so what I have done on days where I've gone red is I've traded a little longer until I've been able to get back to green. Now, fortunately, I haven't had days where I just kept losing more and more and more and more until I hit my max loss and I was like, okay, I have to stop. So that could happen, and it has certainly happened before, but the last several days that I went red, I was able to finish in the green. And the most recent one was on, it was one day last week. I don't remember which day, but in any case, one day last week. So I'll go over the trades from today. I'll give you the recap. The 4 or 5 stocks I traded, I am green on all 5. One of them ended up going quite a lot higher after I got out, like another $10 a share. So that's an interesting one. NRBO, left some money on the table with that, left some money on the table with AMPX. But then a couple of the others, man, it's good that I took the small base hit because they sold off. So we're in a choppy market. It's a good time to be cautious. And someone asked me today, Ross, what do you think is better, learning in a bull market or a bear market? And, I sort of was like, well, I don't. I mean, on the one hand, it doesn't really matter. If you're learning, that's great, and you can't really control whether you happen to start learning during a bull market or bear market. So it doesn't really matter. If I were to choose, on the one hand, learning in a bull market could be really great, and some traders in the bull market of 2020 and 2021, they did the things that I wouldn't do, or would certainly tell people not to do. Instead of trading in a simulator, they started trading with real money. And some of them got some nice beginner's luck, and that gave them a pretty big profit cushion that they were able to sort of use to help support themselves while they continued to learn. Okay, but reality did set in, and for some of them, they've jumped back out of the market, because when reality set in and a bear market set in, beginner's luck didn't keep following through and carrying them. You can't just survive and build a career on luck. So skill wasn't there, and then that was a really hard reality setting in. And I think for a lot of people that make money with beginner's luck, they end up losing all of it, and maybe even more. So on the other hand, when you start during a bear market, you don't have any of those advantages. You're starting and it's difficult, the market is not forgiving. And what's good about it is that it forces you to be very disciplined. And one of the biggest attributes of successful traders is their ability to maintain discipline, patience, and composure. And I think a bear market teaches you all of those things. So it may not be as exciting a time to learn, because you're probably not going to see as many huge winners, either in your own trading or among other traders out there. But then on the other hand, I think if you're in this for the long haul, maybe this is actually one of the best times to learn. So I don't know. That's my thought. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the recap. I hope you hit the thumbs up. I hope you're subscribed to the channel, and I'll see you back at it first thing tomorrow morning, bright and early, 9 a.m. for the morning show. All right, I'll see you then. What's up, everyone? All right, so we're gonna do a recap, go over the trades from today, another green day, and actually have to log back into my trading platform because one of the things that I've been doing is, of course, leaving money on the table, walking away early. So I shut everything down, I left, and I haven't looked at the stocks or anything for the last 2 hours. But this is where I finished the morning, $5,300.49, which is a good day. That's just over my daily goal of $5,000. And it is my 47th consecutive green day. What? The last red day was in July. So I've been on such a nice streak. And this is kind of funny to say, but right now in this market, it's not feeling, for me, super difficult to have small green days. Now, one of the things is I left money on the table today. You know what? I'm leaving money on the table almost every single day. I'm under trading. But when I focus on 1 or 2 base hits, those seem a bit more easily obtainable. And, focusing on base hits has been my approach here for the last 2 months or so. And, it does mean that I haven't had any home runs. I haven't had any really big winners. The biggest green day was $25,000. Is that a good day? Absolutely. Compared to last year, last year I was having $100,000 and $200,000 days. And that's when you step up to the plate and you swing for a home run. You start taking really big size. You don't sell when you're up 15, 20, 30 cents a share. You don't sell when you're up 75 cents or 80 cents a share. You add. And next thing you know, you've got a 30,000 share position and you're up $3 a share on the stock. That's 90 grand. But that is home run trading. And you know what? Some markets call for stepping up to the plate and swinging big. And I think that traders that didn't do that in 2020 and 2021 probably did leave a lot of money on the table. But this right now isn't the market for that home run strategy, because I tried to do that. I tried to hit home runs the whole beginning of the year. And you know what happened? The whole beginning of the year was choppy for me. And I'll just show you. Let's just look at the first 3 months of the year. 2022. We look at the P&L of the first 3 months of the year. And if I look at this, I can do it like this, I guess. Let's see, by recent 90 days. Up 100, back down. Up, back down. Up, back down. I mean, this is not really a very clean equity curve. These are big red days. $40,000 red days back to back. Right? So Now we can compare the equity curve of the last, I don't know, the last couple months since the 1st of August. That's nice. And you know what? It's only $200,000 in profit. Oh, I say only because that's not as much money. I probably made more in the first 3 months of the year than I've made in this stretch here. But this has been so much more relaxing just to come in each day, look for a couple of nice base hits, get in, try to get green, and then get out. Today was no different. So let's go over the stocks from today. So first of all, we'll look at the S&P 500. S&P 500 made a new low today versus this pullback. We are in a drawdown right now. The market is definitely, heading back down towards those lows. So, that's what's going on in the overall market. We're in a bit of a pullback. This is a time to be cautious. Leading gapper this morning was VRAX, and you'll notice I didn't trade it. So here's the thing. I was sitting down at 7:15 when VRAX popped up right here on this candle, and I looked at it. I saw it hit my scanners. So these scanners are searching the market in real time for stocks that are squeezing, right? This is what I'm looking for, stocks that are moving up right now. So, this it hasn't refreshed because I turned off my computer. But anyways, so at 7:15, this thing's squeezing up. I pull it up and I'm like, VRAX. I know this stock. And it was choppy when it was first making this move. It really has never been super clean. It had this massive rejection day. And I just said, you know what? I don't trust it. I don't like it. I don't think it's going to be clean. I'm not going to trade it. So I just said that at the beginning and I didn't trade it. I pulled up the level 2 on it and I could see pretty quickly that the level 2 is pretty thick. Seemed like there was just a big stack of buyers, big stack of sellers. And I just had the feeling that this was going to be a choppy stock today. So there were some opportunities on it. I left some money on the table, but I'm okay with that. All right, so that was VRAX. MGAM, second leading gapper, 15 million share float. A little on the cheaper side. This is another one that we traded, or I traded it anyways, during these 2 days when it first IPO'd. Huge squeeze. This was IPOing right around the same time as HKD. Just perfect time for the IPO for this company. Had a few trades on it, but now it just feels like it's the backside of the move. We already had a dead cat bounce on it in September, or what was this? August 30th. So I just think it's overplayed, and I don't feel like going back for it anymore. So that one I had pretty low expectations on. I didn't think it would be clean. It's not really front side of the move. So I just said, nope, I'm leaving it alone. All right, so that was MGAM. Meds, third leading gapper. Well, the problem with meds is that it's pretty cheap. It's under the 200 moving average. I saw it pop up. I thought maybe it looked good over $1.50. It wasn't able to break it. No trades. HTCR, no volume. BCAN, fourth leading gapper. Okay, that's the first one that I traded that's on the gap scan. It was the fourth leading gapper. And I made $458, $458. A little bit of a bummer because I had a couple of good trades on it, but I didn't make a ton. So this one is the one that I did really well on yesterday, if you recall. Yesterday was an $18,000 green day. Actually, I finished up 20,000, but 18,000 of it was from BCAN. I took this trade on the break of VWAP here, and this squeezed from 13 all the way up to a high of $21.40. It was phenomenal. But it ended up selling off going into the open. It opened below VWAP. It tapped VWAP, rolled over, halted down once, twice, bounced up, and then halted down again. And it was just a very, very weak open, and it was not able to recover from that. So that was disappointing. And it was also really disappointing yesterday was HOLO. HOLO yesterday was an epic failure. I mean, this just was so disappointing to see. This thing pops up, drops down, goes up from 18 all the way to $36 a share. And then it halts down at the open once, twice, halts up, halts down again. And this thing actually went from a high of $36 all the way down to $2.86 a share. Just huge liquidation. And we saw this same type of thing on, so look at this daily candle. It's just a massive red candle. We saw the same thing on JZ, massive red candle. This is just really I don't know. It just feels really ugly. It's gross. And I don't know what all is the story behind these. Who's selling that many shares? It just seems, I don't know, shady to me, but someone's making a lot of money selling shares, and unfortunately, traders who buy and hold end up being really huge bag holders on this. So that's a good reminder with all of these. My approach as a trader is get in, get out. That's it. I don't hold overnight. I don't get emotional on these. I don't hold and hope. I mean, I have had my losses, my fair share. That's part of how I learned how to be really disciplined about this, but I cut the losses and move on. So my trades on BCAN this morning, it pops up and hits the scanner. And when it first started popping up, I was like, I don't know. I wasn't really sure. I was like, okay, it's breaking the volume weight average price. That was right here. And I thought, well, I don't know. I'm not sure. But then finally I said, you know what? All right, I'll get in. So I got in for the break of 750, which is the $0.50. All right. So it comes up to 750. I got in at 751 and it goes into a halt at 774. I took some profit off the table going into the halt and held a smaller position through the halt. On resumption, it pops up to 8. It drops down to 751. I added back at 751. Why? I was using 750 as psychological support. So bought the dip off 750 and then added coming back up, and we got a breakthrough 8 all the way up to 860. That was nice. Unfortunately, I ended up giving back the profit, adding down here at 8 for the curl back up, and then stopping out as it sold off. It just didn't bounce. And actually this created, you could see this pretty clearly that this is a head and shoulders pattern during this consolidation. So I'll grab a screenshot of that. But so that was a little disappointing, but of course this is just the market that we're in. We're seeing occasional continuation, BCAN, head and shoulders. So I'm just gonna remember to add that to the classes. We're seeing occasional continuation, but not consistent. So this is absolutely still the time to take those base hits, right? So in that hot market, I would be adding, and then maybe taking profit up here and then adding back super heavy the second it dips for that next leg up. And this just isn't the market for that aggressive style. So you have to be a little bit more cautious. All right, so ended up 450 on BCAN after being up about 1,000 on it. The first trade on the day was VTAQ, and this actually set the tone for the day in a lot of ways. VTAQ right now is gapping down 8%, which is, this is just, it's disappointing, is what it is. It's just really disappointing. So we had a nice move on this yesterday. This had a nice squeeze from 6 to 7 to 8 to 9, all the way up to 10. And I did get a couple trades on it. I was hanging out in the afternoon and took some trades on it. So I made some money on this yesterday, trading it through this range here. We had some nice pullbacks. I hit $10. So this morning when it hit the scanner, I was like, oh, VTAQ, I traded that yesterday and did well on it. I better jump on it quick. So it hits my high day momentum scanner. I wouldn't find the stocks if it weren't for those scanners. So those are so important. All right, it hits the scanner and that says it's popping up right about here at 7. I think it first hit the scanner at $7, goes to 720, 730, 740. I punch the buy button. I pull up the level 2. I punch the buy button. My average was, I think, 740, something like that, maybe 750. I then added for the break of 8, and it moved up to a high of 840. It pulls back. I bought the dip. And by the way, so I took half off the table at about 815. That was a pretty good exit. That was my best exit, 815. The rest was around 8. I then added back on this dip right here. It comes back up to a high of 810. I said it needs to break through 810. It wasn't able to. It dropped back down, and it dropped hard. It came all the way back down lower than where it started. And then it just continued the sell-off. So at that point, I was like, all right, I'm glad I got a good trade on it, but this is definitely a hit or miss kind of market. You've got to be light on your toes. NRBO, let's look at this one. So NRBO, this one ended up making a really nice move right here, all the way up to $25. I traded it. My first trade on it was right. It was like right here. I got in at 1650. I took profit at, no, maybe it was like 16.20. Took profit at 17. It comes down, and I missed this whole second move. So it goes from 17 all the way up to $25 a share. That whole move was without me. Missed it. But beautiful. Awesome. That's great to see. So some nice action on that one. I'm glad to see that. Let's see. ADTX. There was another one today. Was it AMTX? Which one was it? Now I'm trying to remember. Oh, AMPX. So nice move on AMPX. Again, this one was pretty clean. This was after I was finished trading, so I didn't get any trades on this one, but it goes from 7 all the way up to a high of $12.38, pulls back, then goes up to 14. So, can't really complain about that. Those are some good moves. I definitely right now, every day I'm leaving money on the table, but my approach of hitting base hits is working, and I'm going to keep it up. So yesterday finished with $20,000 in profit. Today I'm at 5,000, so I'm already at 25,000 on the week. That's my weekly goal, and it's Tuesday. All right. I've also crossed over my monthly goal already, which was 100 grand. So I crossed that level yesterday. So let's see. All right. So I just crossed over 100 grand yesterday, $100,000 basically, a little bit higher before fees and commissions, gross profit. Net profit is after fees and commissions. So today will put me at 105,000 roughly on the month, which is pretty good. Accuracy, it's only 68%. It's a little low. Let's see if gross and profit. Actually, that makes a pretty big difference, which is interesting. What that means is that I have a good number of trades. Let's see, it's like 10 trades that were winners before commission, but we're losers after, which basically means they're break-even trades. I mean, they're basically break-even trades. But anyways, so accuracy is a little bit better in gross profit, but that's fine. So the goal this week, now that I've already hit my $25,000 weekly goal, is just to keep trying to hit 5,000 a day. That's it. Just come in, try to hit 5,000 tomorrow, try to do it again Thursday, do it again Friday, and then we've got next week. Right now, I've just got to keep my head down because I still have a solid, well, let's see. So January 1st, my account is up 886 in gross, but it's up 720 in net, which means I still have $275,000 to make in order to hit my $1 million goal. I'd like to finish the year over $1 million. The only way it's going to happen is if I keep my head down and keep focusing on base hits, right? So I know how many base hits I have, or how many base hits I need to hit between now and the end of December. If I can keep averaging 25,000 a week, 100,000 a month, I'm going to get there. All right. Now, sure, it would be nice if I can close that gap by hitting, a couple of home runs, but I just don't have the risk tolerance to do it, because if that means that on that day I gave up just locking up a $5,000 base hit, that's not okay. So I've got to take the base hits. But, on a day like yesterday, and I mentioned this, I didn't do a recap yesterday, but I was live trading for most of the day. On a day like yesterday, had HOLO squeezed into a halt up at the open, absolutely would have been on that. And since I already had a really nice profit cushion, I would have been comfortable taking a little bit of risk. And so, I think that that's something that I hope that we'll see that at some point. I hope that we'll have a day where it's really strong pre-market and then goes really strong into the open, and I can end up finishing up 40, 50, or $100,000. But everything has to be just, perfect for that to happen. I mean, you need to have such a hot market. I need to be in have such a big cushion pre-market, and just, I don't know. It hasn't happened in a while, but it certainly could. So, and if that happens, then that'll help me close the gap on my annual goal a little bit faster. So anyways, that's it for me. Good luck for those out there tuning in. I hope you guys find this helpful and interesting. Appreciate you guys hitting the thumbs up as always. I'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning. Live morning show will start on YouTube around 9 a.m. I start streaming to Warrior members anywhere between 7 and 8, depending on how things look on the scans when I first when I first take a peek. All right, so that's the game plan, and I'll see you guys back here first thing tomorrow morning. Reminder, as always, trading is risky. My results are not typical, so make sure you take it slow because there's no guarantee you'll find success whether you trade with me or you learn on your own. All right, I'll see you back here tomorrow. I hope you really enjoyed that video, and make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Our goal is to hit 1 million subscribers this year, but we won't get there without your help. So please, please, please hit that subscribe button.